Hey there, Citizen Pal here, and welcome back. It's time for another tour of duty, and this time we're going to be taking out the MISC Freelancer base model. We will talk a little bit about the other one. So this is the 3.3.5 patch. I have this as a loaner for the Concierge program. I've had it for about a month. I don't use it at all, if I'm going to be completely honest with you. It's just, we'll talk about it as we go. This ship's actually an amazing value. When you look at it compared to a Cutlass, so MSRP Cutlass Black $100, MSRP of a base Freelancer $110. So we're just going to be looking at it from that point of view. It's all around pretty much better than the Cutlass in every way, with a little bit of an exception of the handling. And most of that comes down to the length of the ship here. She's quite a bit longer than the Cutlass, as you can tell. Maybe you can't tell. Maybe you haven't seen a Cutlass. There'll be a video about the Cutlass. I love the Cutlass. But she is a good bit longer than the Cutlass. But other than that, better cargo capacity, better armament, more room, everything about her, more tanky, is better than the Cutlass. Other than the personality. She doesn't have the personality. She's very, not ugly, just, I don't know. She's generic, I think, is the problem. It's a generic looking ship. It's probably something that we will realistically, well, not in our lifetimes, but sometime in the future of humanity, we may see something like this actually exist. This is something that would realistically be made. And that's fine. It fits its role, but that genericness is just not for me. Let's go ahead and open the Moby Glass here. We'll take a look at her stats. Not her stats, her hard points. MISC Freelancer. The main thing is the weaponry is quite heavy hitting, quite hard hitting. Can't see because the sun's in the way, so you do have missile racks up. We can't scroll down. Yay. Anyway, you have these big turrets. I'm pretty sure these are size 4. So you have 4 size 4 turrets, all controlled gimbal mounts. 4 size 4 guns, gimbal mounted, that are all controlled by the pilot. Now keep in mind, unless the target's dead in front of you, you can only really fire 2 of them. These are also by default ballistic. Obviously you can change that out to anything you want, but ammo can be a problem with this girl in an extended fight. So you do have that. Then on the backside you do have some missiles. So these are, I think these are size 3s. So it looks like 2 size 3s, so 4 size 3s, and then 4 size 2s. It might also be size 2, size 1s, but I think those are 3s. Those look like 2s. Around the back side, the same thing. And then there is a turret on the back. A lot of people forget about the turret. Turret on the back, which has 2 size 3s. So total firepower, actual full output of this thing, 4 size 4s, 2 size 3s. Not too bad. Not too shabby at all. Compared to the Cutlass, it's got more firepower, and you could take these gimbals, you can pull this off, and I think it'll fit size 6s, so you can have 2 forward-firing size 6 weapons on this. Don't quote me on that, but I'm pretty sure you can get size 6s, at least size 5s on there. So there's the potential for some big, heavy ship hitters. Yeah, I just did the P-52 Merlin, so it's still sitting out there. Guess that guy's looking at it. Alright, we're going to climb in the back. I am going to warn you, when I open this back panel, there's probably going to be a visual glitch going on. I did reset the ship, so maybe not, but it's not uncommon. It seems there's a little issue. Nope, yep, visual glitch, so we're not seeing the inside texture. It also means when we get inside, we don't see the outside. So if we turn back around, we don't see anything. Let's go ahead. We'll just close the door. That way things are not too bad. It'll calm it down. Alright, so you got a fairly significant cargo hold. Off the top of my head, I want to say 33 SCU, 34 SCU, something like that. Reasonable amount of cargo, about 50% more than the Cutlass. We do have this turret here. We'll worry about this once we've taken off. We don't want to get our ship stowed on us. We'll move on forward here. Up here, there's just another little cargo area. So this can also have cargo. It's just like a airlock of some sorts. Then you get up into a crew area where you do have 4 crew bunks. You do have little storage positions. There's no bathroom, I don't think. What is that? Oh, that's the shower. Oh. And there's that. So where's the toilet, though? Where's the toilet? You'd figure you'd need a toilet over a shower. Is there something in here that we can deploy out? Let's get off the landing pad before we get in trouble. Alright, so we'll just go right up to flight ready. I left my headlamp on. If you watch the Starfare, the front end of this is much the same. In fact, it's just kind of a slightly smaller Starfare cockpit, bridge, whatever you want to call it. Go ahead and lift off. Woo! Nose up, nose up, nose up. There we go. We were bouncing on the pad a little bit. Just go up for a ways. Alright, that should be high enough up. Come to a stop, release the camera. We'll raise the landing gear. You can see another one of those little glitches. Those little side skirts we're missing. Fairly standard, straightforward, nothing particular about this. You don't have pivoting engines or anything. One of the early concepts of this ship, these engines were on gimbals themselves, so they rotated and everything to give you different directional thrust. That seems to have been pretty much canceled. We'll see when the 3.4 rolls out, end of December. All the different variants of this are going to be in, which will, you know, basically finish it off. They're gonna work over a lot of these little issues that we maybe have with this ship for that. So we'll see, but I don't think we're actually going to get those gimbaling engines. Even the Cutlass, they removed those. So yeah, 4-person cockpit area. I'm not really sure what you need 4 people for on this ship. You need basically pilot and gunner, maybe a 3rd person for fixing things and handling little stuff like that. Where the heck would the toilet be? And the shower is nice, but I'd much rather have a toilet. I'd rather have a place to poop than a place to shower. Showers are important, but not as important as pooping. You can get in and out. There is a side door. I'm sure you saw it. It's a lot like the Prospector, which would make sense. Side door right there. Go ahead and we'll close that up. Close that. We'll just jump into the turret in the back real quick. So let's be honest, this is a cargo ship. It really is. But for a cargo ship, it also is surprisingly durable. It's got reasonably good shields. It also has a reasonably good amount of speed. The engines are fairly big on it. We'll get it going here in a bit. Which means it's actually a very good all-around ship. Would I take it out dogfighting? No. But you do have the firepower to defend yourself in a sticky situation. You hit somebody with those 4 size 4s, they're going to know it, and they're going to know it bad. Pretty much anything isn't going to want to get hit by those. Then if you swap that out for 2 size 6s, you got even more. Maybe about the same. I don't know how that compares to price. I guess it depends on how good of size 6s you get compared to how good of size 4s you have. Don't kill me. Don't kill me. But yeah, if you want to invest a little bit more in the game and you need just a general purpose ship that you can take out, if someone tries to gank you, you're going to have a fighting chance. You can run cargo. You also have room for friends. You also have a bed section right here. You know, I would say the Cutlass does all of this. Everything I've just talked about the Cutlass does. But if you don't love the aesthetic of the Cutlass, this thing for $10 more does basically everything the Cutlass does, but better. And that's that. I've always found that the Cutlass really is in a tough spot because of that price point. The Cutlass feels like to compete with this thing should be $80 or $90. It should be another 10 or 20 bucks cheaper. We'll go ahead and boost up here. You're not going to have an amazing top speed, but we are 200, you know, and we got there reasonably fast. Are you going to be outrunning any fighters? No, absolutely not. That's not what it's designed for. You could use this, and this ship has been used a lot as a gank ship. So people see you coming, they assume you are a cargo hauler. You're not really looking for any trouble or whatever, anything. You line up behind them and you just unload with these big guns, and you pop them in 2 salvos. I'm just holding down there. So that's 2 salvos. That's how fast you can kill them. You might pop them in 1 salvo. It's entirely possible. Let's see here. Bounty Hunter, there's no No ECN. Maybe this one will work this time. Didn't work last time. Let's untrack, retrack, and then jump back into the skyline. Can I see? Why you do this to me, game? Let's go. We just want a simple contract. Mercenary, outlaw, escort, no. Extraction, no. Unauthorized, no. No, can't do. Outlaw roundup. I think this is going to be the one where we have to fly the stupid little... They tell us go here and look around until we tell you to move on. I don't want to do that. Personal transport. Has it updated? Hey, it updated finally. Okay. Let's. I'm gonna jump out to Grim Hex, and then we will come back. All right, where are you, Neil Nygren? Up here somewhere. 73 kilometers. Let's talk about a little bit about the variants. Like I said, this is just the base model. Now there are 3 different variants of it. There's an exploration variant where you lose quite a bit of your cargo space for some longer range fuel, a little bit more living quarters, and then like a scanning suite. There is a high contact, Cutlass Black. Where is it? It's a hostile too. Is it just a random enemy? It is. Do we want to go kill him? Let's pop our guns on him. So you have the exploration, then you have the max, which is designed for, is that the max? You gotta remember here. There might be 4 variants. There's so many different, there's quite a few versions of this ship. One of them has basically twice the cargo capacity. It has something like 125 cargo capacity, which is quite significant, especially for this type of ship. Compared to a lot of the ships in this size, they're around 30 or 40. Can I come to a stop before I run into them? Oh, I am not being impressed by these guns.
All right, look, maybe we can work something out.
Oh, okay, just wasn't updating. That still wasn't that impressive. We've taken about, for 4 size 4s, that wasn't very good. So you get the max variant that has all the cargo hauling capacity, and then there's the MISC version, the military version, which actually has a ton, and I'm talking a ton of missiles. You see this like hood scoop area there underneath that the engines are attached to? That becomes like a giant missile pod rack, and the actual back of the ship, internally inside the ship, has just racks of missiles loaded in. It turns it into a missile boat. So you do have more firepower just all around. You still have your primary guns. You still have the turret, I believe. But you just gain a lot more missiles. Right now, missiles in a funky spot, so I don't know how viable that's going to be, but you can get this basically as a combat version. And all these things will eventually be swappable. You'll be able to buy those parts and put them on your ship and everything. And yeah, the value of a Freelancer is just, I struggle to find another ship of better value. Maybe the Avenger, maybe the Avenger Titan at that $50 MSRP is basically like the half-priced little brother of this thing. You obviously don't have quite as much variation. You do have the EMP and the Bounty Hunter set, but for cargo, that might be the only other one. As you go beyond this, like, while there's ships that definitely do what this does better, I can't argue that they do it for a better value. Even the Cutlass, and I love the Cutlass, doesn't do it for better value. In fact, it's the Cutlass compared to this is straight up a bad value. The question is, though, what do you want? Do you want the aesthetic, or do you want the utility? If you don't care about the aesthetic of the Cutlass and the personality of the Cutlass, then I would say this is the one to go. If you're going to be going a little more into combat, the Cutlass is probably the one to go. While this is definitely more durable, the Cutlass is just more maneuverable. So when your targets aren't basically sitting still brain dead, like this, that you can just punch them, the Cutlass will definitely do a little bit more, I think. This has more punch. It's maneuverability versus punch that we're really talking about here. And yeah, though, it's It's a tough one. I do think I'm going to come back and revisit this one, mainly once 3.4 drops and we see some of the other variants and stuff. I'm going to try to borrow some people's variants, take them out, try out the Max, try out the MISC one that is going to have all the weapons. It's a very solid ship. It's an extremely solid, well-built, do-it-all, extremely competitively priced ship for that. That doesn't mean it's a cheap ship. We all have our grading scales. You know, $110 ship where you're talking then like an $80 add-on package on top of some of the starter packages. That's a lot, but it's hard to argue with the value, I think, at least in-game. That $10 compared to a Cutlass or whatever, it's hard to argue against. All right, guys, that is the Freelancer. Until next time, this has been Paler. Thanks for watching.